comfortable.
Everybody.
New monkey, you're listening. And that's not a bad thing. That's
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the Pots and Pans Network proudly brings to you its tag team champions of the world, the Road Dogg, Tino Gray, the badass Rob Potsy Potchak. We are the old age, bringing in the new year outlaws here.
Outlaws.
Our theme song, as always, as you just heard, is brought to you by Adam's House Cats, called The Wrestling Song. It's available on iTunes for 99 cents.
Woo!
And yes, Tino's letting out some Ric Flair moment there. Yeah, so Tino, we've decided, at least right now, we've got a couple more weeks where we can still put our show on iTunes. But I got to tell you, I think that when you get to see this beautiful thing going on right here, it works so much better on YouTube. What do you think?
You obviously think a lot of yourself, but when you see all this beautiful chocolate man, that's what they're coming for.
You look like a peanut M&M. That's what you
know. Get it right. I'm a milk dud. I'm a milk dud with glasses.
You're like a half melted milk dud. Like it's like spread out. It's not circular.
Melts in your mouth, not in your hands. I don't know. I'm punchy today, man. I was tired. I was up late last night, but I got to sleep in a little bit. So folks, we're going to continue to broadcast this show on YouTube. We will, like I said, we probably will still consider some episodes for iTunes, but we're thinking about moving on to a digital age of video and what we can do there. So maybe this year we put the budget that we actually put into the last couple of years just putting up a podcast space. We go ahead and we put it towards the ability of doing like video content or something else. So with all that said, Tino, you just said you were up late last night. You and the wife had plans, didn't you? Yeah. So last night was New Year's Eve, obviously, as we record this, and I DJ'd at Doherty's in Apex, North Carolina. So I went on at 9. Nicole came and she hung out, and she had a friend of hers come hang out with us, and we had a pretty good time. It was kind of slow there, but it was just enough. It was just enough people to have a good time. I like to people watch, so it was just enough people there for me to be able to still laugh and enjoy myself as well, and Nicole too. So we laughed and had a good time and played music and just had a ball and got home around 2:30, and then we crashed. And then I told you off air, we didn't really get up out of bed till like 11:15. So we just kind of like, we've been just moseying around, still in my PJs. So I'll probably, when I get down here, get up and take a shower because Haley's boyfriend's coming over for a little bit. And then we're going to go to the movies and do all that fun family stuff.
What are you going to see?
Oh, we're going to see Bumblebee. I haven't seen it yet. I saw you put reviews on, I've heard you talking about Bumblebee. You said it was a good movie. And so I've been wanting to see it. So I'm going to go check it out. What'd you think of it?
I've actually watched it twice now, before you even saw it once, apparently. Yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. I was hoping you were going to say Mary Poppins, and then I'd probably hop in the car after this episode and just go with you.
Oh, well, we are going to go see Mary Poppins. So when we go, I'll call you and let you know. We can go check it out. That's my favorite.
Go ahead.
That's all I was going to say. That's my favorite Disney movie. So out of all times, I have my my favorite is Mary Poppins. Second favorite is Aladdin. But yeah, Mary Poppins has always been on the top. So when I saw that preview, about a month or so, when they started bringing them out, I'm like, oh, I got excited like a little kid. And I'm like, yes, I'm definitely going to go see it.
Yeah, so I believe it's also a friend of the show, Chris Edge's favorite Disney film. So I may see if he wants to actually go see it at some point.
So we should all make a road trip. Me, you, and Chris Edge, go check it out.
Yeah, no, I agree. So yeah, like last night I stayed home. I
I made a bunch of food for fondue, cut up a bunch of food, froze my fingers because the meat was still cold. All that fun stuff. And then of course we watched the Dick Clark's Rocking New Year's Eve party, which I absolutely loved this year because Ryan Seacrest it looked like he was getting pissed on the entire night. Just all
so
that rain.
You don't like Seacrest?
No.
Seacrest out.
And Tino, I don't know how you feel about dirty language here, but I absolutely loved the last year that Dick Clark was actually on it. It was after his batteries had worn out, and he wasn't really moving around too well or anything, and they just kind of rolled him out onto the stage so he could talk to Ryan Seacrest every so often. And Ryan Seacrest talking about how much he loves Dick Clark and everything, and Dick Clark went on like this rant where he was like, I hate you, Ryan Seacrest, and just started like running his mouth at him like, I used to have to go through snow and rain and everything, and you got like these tarps and stuff over, and he's like, love you too, Dick, and then just like,
oh my God, I missed that one. I gotta go find that on YouTube.
Oh yeah, dude, it was awesome, and I think that was the same year that Mariah Carey went up there and completely botched her entire performance.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so it was just full of great memories. So today, I every so often because of my new lifestyle change of food and everything, I went ahead and on my Instagram and on my Facebook page, Tino, I posted pictures of when I started this dietary thing, and I posted a picture from today, and apparently your wife was impressed.
Yeah, she was all like, I was showing her the different pictures. So I started from the bottom because you said that was the October 24th one. So I started from the bottom. She's like, okay. And I got to the last one from there. I said, this is the day. She goes, Rob's got abs. I'm like, okay, I'm putting my phone away now. You can calm the hell down.
Hey, if the Big Show can have abs, I can have abs. Okay.
I was like, cause that's what she's like, what, abs? I'm like, I said, all he's doing is he stopped with like the potatoes and the rice and the bread. I'm like, she goes, well, where do abs come from? I don't know, because I know he's not exercising. And she started laughing.
It's true, and I did tell you over, in confidence, and I'll just go ahead and say it because not like anybody watches our show on YouTube, right? But yeah, it's that. But I did also start doing squats and a couple other things to get myself a little in better shape because, well, you can still see my second chin here now that I trimmed down the beard. No, it's interesting because like the picture makes it look like I have abs, but there really aren't abs there. It really is just a gelatinous blob still. So
well, Nicole asked if it was photoshopped. I'm like, no, he's just losing weight.
Well, and that's just it. There is an ab somewhere in there. There might even be 4 or 6 of them. I don't know. It's like what I did to do that though is I took a 6-pack and I just pushed it up against my belly real hard. 10 seconds, and then I took it off and see 6. So.
You're stupid.
No, I would never do anything like that. But I did think I did think that the picture was pretty telling that it's just been just over 2 months of me eating better and trying to be healthier and going through the really stressful holiday period, which actually probably prevented me from losing weight because your body holds on to that stuff when it's stressed out for whatever reason. So yeah, it's just a whole different thing. Like when you wake up and you're like, okay, am I gonna get my head clear and just keep up with taking pictures every so often so that I can still see a difference. Because like I told you when I first started, if I hadn't seen a difference in that first week worth of pictures, I probably wouldn't keep doing it. And that's motivation enough for me, and hopefully I know that my buddy CT just went through something at the hospital not too long ago where he was basically told he had to start eating better and everything else. So he said in a week he's lost 33 pounds. Now granted,
whoa.
He was probably pushing 400 pounds. So
in a week, what the hell did he do in a week?
I don't know. He might have gotten a lap band. He might have done, he might have done any of those things. I don't know. But
but after a week, he said that he's feeling better than he has in years, and you know, it started talking about how much weight he lost, and I was like, that son of a bitch has lost more weight than me, and I've been doing this for 2 months.
Damn. What did he do? The same thing, just
I don't know. I know that based on looking at the pictures he's posting on Instagram of his food, he's definitely doing a low. It looks like a low carb diet, but I don't know what the doctors told him versus what he had to do or anything. I just know that my doctor told me that as long as my vitals and everything are in line, that I can continue to eat the way that I'm eating right now and just keep doing it. So
what are you? So give the people an example. What are you doing?
well, you basically said it. It's not
Like,
quite.
what does a day look like for you?
Oh, so I'm probably doing the intermittent fasting as well as eating low carb. So like I don't typically eat before like 11 o'clock in the morning, and I don't typically eat after 10 o'clock at night. So there's like a 10-hour window or a 9-hour window or whatever where, or maybe an 11-hour window that I can actually eat if I'm going to. And then the rest of it's basically like I cut out almost all potatoes, cut out almost all rice, almost all pastas. Fried foods are almost completely out, although I eat wings because they're not terrible for you, but you know, you have to watch how many of those types of things that you actually eat. But it's interesting because more of a high fat, low carb diet, because your body will actually burn off the fat instead. And then it's eating a lot of protein. So any type of meat is fine, fish is fine, vegetables are fine. You know, like my sister and brother-in-law, they're funny about it. They basically always say, oh, you know, we're not counting our vegetable carbs. And it's like, well, vegetable carbs still count as carbs. You can't, if you're gonna, count carbs, you got to count all carbs. You get, and they're like, but we like vegetables, so we're not going to count those. And it's like, I like rice and potatoes, but I'm still, you know, I'm not eating them now. You know,
Right.
So, but literally, I cut out the breads, cut out things like that, and before you know it, like you're eating healthy. It's I eat more vegetables than I ever have in my entire life, which, you know, is good. I love zucchini, so I eat zucchini, squash.
So when you're at work, do you pack a lunch, or do you still go out to eat? But
I still go out. It's funny because, like, granted, you have to go into places and actually say, I want this, this, and this, and not this, this, and this. But I used to do that anyway, just because I like things plain rather than with all the condiments and everything on them. So like if I, you know, I've got Ruckus near my day job, and if I sit there and I go, hey, I want a cheesesteak, they're like, okay, and I go, no bread, and they're like, okay, and then I say, and I want it with vegetables. So like my entire meal is basically steak and cheese and vegetables, and it's cooked on a grill, so it's not bad for you, you know. Like, granted, I could probably do without half the cheese, but again, on this kind of diet, to keep your body actually from eating away at things that like muscle and stuff, you've got to put in fats too, so that way you counteract a lot of it. But again, it's not really a diet. Like I keep trying to say this to people because they're like, oh, it's a diet, so you'll fall off of it. It's like, no, I like what I eat on this, so I, you know, it's not like Nutrisystem or something where it tastes like cardboard. You know, like I'm eating the real meats, I'm eating the real cheeses. There's a place called Noodles and Company that I can get, instead of actual noodles, I can get zucchini noodles. So, and they make a low carb Parmesan crusted chicken, which is just delightful. So I mean, like I've basically found different ways to eat, and to continue to go out because I don't like to cook, so that way I can, you know, like at some point, you know, I'm probably gonna have to, you know, figure out, you know, meal prep and stuff like that. Like that's what makes it feel like a diet. So if you have to do that stuff, it's just not fun. But like last night, you know, my brother brought brownies to the party, so I didn't not have a brownie. You know, I made sure that I ate what I wanted. But the rest of the meal was vegetables and meat. So it was, you know, like I probably had, you know, 3 grams of carbs all day long up until that point, and then I started drinking some beers, which Michelob Ultra has 2.6 grams of carbs per beer. So if you have 5 of those in a night, you're still only drinking 13 grams of carbs. So you're still keeping, you know, if you're saying, okay, I want to be at 50 grams of carbs a day. Well, that still gives you almost 40 grams of carbs that you can sit there and eat however you want. And
Right.
the important thing about that, Tino, is that like the average person who doesn't watch their intake eats about 250 grams of carbs a day.
Oh shit.
Okay. So if you just cut that down to 100 because you're like, I just want to cut down my carbs, then you just have to figure out what things to cut out. Normally it's potatoes or rice or bread or pasta. And if you cut out any of those things, you're going to cut off 50 to 75 grams of carbs in no time. And you're immediately eating better without even realizing you're eating better.
Cool. So what are you drinking? Just water? Or are you drinking
Unsweet tea, diet sodas from time to time, water? Yeah. The because you're not supposed to have sugars or anything, they have this sugar called erythritol that you can have, which doesn't affect your blood glucose levels because the thing that a lot of people have when they start going low carb is they start, they have to cut out sugars. So they try to find all these other sugars that they can replace it with, like maltitol, sorbitol, all those things. And
stevia?
Yes, stevia is actually supposed to be pretty good for you. But Splenda actually isn't supposed to be very good for you. And all Splenda is they take out the actual like hard portion of the sugar, and it's just supposed to be sugars, alcohol that you're actually intaking. So that's why it tastes the most like regular sugar. But like sorbitol and maltitol actually still raise your blood glucose levels, so you actually get, you can actually get in trouble with like diabetes and stuff like that if you continue to take those. Now, what I've noticed is because I still like chocolate, that when you go out and you buy sugar-free chocolate typically has one of those too. So it normally has maltitol or sorbitol in it. And when you're eating that stuff, see, here's the funny thing: you can't eat a lot of it. Like you might want to, but you can't.
Why? Does it make you sick?
Because it gives you the shits.
Oh.
Like serious shit cases. So like, it's you go ahead and, if it says that the serving size is 3 Reese's peanut butter cups that are sugar-free peanut butter cups, you don't want to go over 3. You might be able to get away with 4, but you don't want to do like 6 or 10 or whatever. It's kind of like the remember the fiasco with the sugar-free Haribo gummy bears?
Yeah.
The same thing. It's just that was like in an extreme case because people just pop gummy bears because they're like, oh, they're sugar-free, blah blah blah. And before you know it, they're in the bathroom like holding on for dear life.
With the rainbow shits.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, so I don't really worry about it. It's funny because I'm trying to watch how much I'm drinking alcohol wise and stuff like that too, because after a while, if you're sitting there going, man, I haven't lost any weight in a while, you look at it and it's like, why not? And you got to think that it's the one bad thing that's still going into your body, which at this point is probably alcohol. But like even that, Crown Royal is 0 grams of carbs per drink. So you can have a Crown Royal, but if you end up getting Crown Apple or whatever, all of those like syrups that they put into them to actually make them into whatever actually have like high carb intake. So Crown Apple, as good as it tastes, is 4.8 grams of carbs per drink.
Oh, damn.
That's 1.5 shots. So when you think about it, it's you're not going to get, if you're trying to get a buzz, you're not going to get a buzz off of 2 of those drinks normally. And you got to figure out another way to do it. So anyways, now granted, the one thing we did find out, apparently based on 3 independent sources, my brother-in-law loves a beer from Kenya called Tusker, which I told you that you needed to have one when you went to Disney World last time. Did you end up having a Tusker?
Yes, and it was good.
It is 2.6 grams of carbs.
It was excellent. I was surprised how good it was.
So it is a low carb Kenyan lager, normally about $3.50 to $4 a bottle, but apparently it is low carb and in fact as low carb as Mick Ultra, which is normally the go-to beer for anybody that's trying to watch carbs. The only downside of that is that it's like 175 calories per beer, whereas Mick Ultra is 95 calories per beer. So like you have five Mick Ultras, you're still only keeping yourself to 500 calories, which is the other thing that you have to watch if you're trying to be healthier and keep yourself within line. You don't want to go over like 2,000 calories a day, even if you're keeping yourself to like 0 grams of carbs, because calories end up becoming fat. So there you go. I just went on for like I guess a positive rant. Is that what I just did?
Yeah, dude, it's awesome. It was good learning because, like I said, I'm getting ready to start the journey too. Tomorrow it'll be my first day, and yeah, so I'm trying to get prepared and figure out what I need to do and how I need to go about it, and so just kind of nervous.
Well, I'm going to tell you, I won't tell you that you should take pictures of yourself and post them to everybody like I do. And in fact, I only posted them because I know that Facebook at some point is going to sit there and say, hey, your time hop or blah, blah, blah is saying that, October 24th, 2018, you blah, 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 this picture. And I'm going to look at it and be like, oh, shit, I look pretty damn good compared to that picture,
Yeah.
And I'll probably post that picture again and, do whatever. But it was the self-affirmation side of it, like some people say, oh, I feel better. So that's why I can stay to it. But at some point, your energy levels and everything else are gonna go back to where they were. I haven't seen where I have, constant energy all the time anymore. But I can start seeing like mini Goldberg clavicles going on, and that's without any type of workout program going on besides lifting boxes at work. So I recommend figuring out what it's going to take to keep you sitting there going, am I seeing a difference? And to everybody listening, watching, around the world, doing whatever, if you want to get yourself healthy, the easiest way to do it is to find out what it's going to take for you to see it so that you continue to do it. Because I'll tell you, I look in the mirror in the bathroom, and that's where I take those selfies, or as I like to call them, healthies.
Healthies. I saw that this morning. That was fun. That was awesome.
And I look in the mirror and I push my belly out as far as I can first. Then I suck it in, and I do all that stuff that when guys are like 15 going through puberty and they start seeing muscles and they're like, where'd this come from? What is that thing? Whatever. And then I have to take the picture because perception is reality. So when you see it in the mirror, you're like, all right, yeah, I feel like I look good. And then all of a sudden, like, you take the picture, you look at the picture, and you go, that doesn't look anything like what I'm looking at in the mirror.
Yeah.
So that's why I started doing that. And my sister doesn't take pictures, but she's still doing the diet. My brother-in-law doesn't take pictures, but he's still doing the diet.
I'll probably take pictures, but I don't think anyone will see all that on Facebook, so I'll just keep them for me.
I mean, you can leave the shirt on if you want, bro, but if you start getting abs, you're gonna want to put it on the Facebook.
Yeah, I might leave the shirt on.
So that's kind of what's been going on here. Deadlines going on for the comic book. Issue number 3 is due at the printer this week, so we're really crunching time. Still trying to get one of the covers actually colored, but it'll be out by the end of the month, so I'm really excited about that. Probably have a couple signings signed up for late January, early February. Of course, we've got NXT next Sunday.
Yes.
So we will be sitting second row watching our boys, the Undisputed Era.
And Jason will be first row.
And Jason somehow got first row right in the middle of the damn thing, and it's like, but you know what, Tino? You know how I was when we went to Raw. I needed to get up to go to the bathroom like 8 times. So I'm glad because we're sitting right on the edge.
Oh, cool. So you have to go across the camera and get the guy to yell at you.
No, I just have to. If I'm sitting on the end, I just have to walk out and go up. I'm good. So
well, maybe you won't have the bladder of a female this time.
No, probably will because
the Flanagans in Section 328 from the Hurricanes games actually say they're getting a party bus to go down to NXT. So so I'm hoping that they just come by, pick me up, and then keep going.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah, they want to do some tailgating with a party bus and everything else. So I'm gonna try to figure that whole deal out with Flanagan and see what's going on there.
Oh, shit, I was gonna come pick you up, but damn.
Well, you know, if you drop the car off and you're here with me, then they can't really say no, you can't get in. I mean,
That's true.
I mean, you are black, but
I know. Damn.
I don't think they have any
Am I?
problem.
Oh shit! When did that happen?
So yeah, so we've got NXT. I haven't even seen a card or anything for it. I just know that Tommaso Ciampa, Johnny Gargano, Aleister Black, they're all supposed to be in action. So I'm excited about that.
So we are going to get some big names. I know you were saying you didn't think we were going to get big names.
Well, I was worried that they were going to get called up and they weren't going to be there anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so at least those three and Velveteen Dream apparently are all still on the the NXT side. So we'll see what goes on there. Did you hear the news?
No, but you were telling me a little bit about it. Like I said, I woke up at 11 a little after. I didn't get a chance to get on any of of our sites that we normally go on. So I need
So the worst kept secret in pro wrestling has become official. Cody Rhodes and the Young Bucks have announced All Elite Wrestling through the Being the Elite YouTube series. So there we just gave a plug to a site that has no need for one at all. They announced that Cody is already signed to it. Other stars are already signed, but the Young Bucks were standing out in front of the Tokyo Dome because obviously later this week they've got a major world tag team title match with a couple other teams for Wrestle Kingdom 13 set up by New Japan. So they said that they are not currently under contract to All Elite Wrestling, but obviously their friends were part of it, so they are making sure that they make the announcement with them. Tino, I think that this is smoke and mirrors. Obviously, I think that what's going to happen is after their Tokyo Dome match, they're going to be done and over with New Japan, and then you'll hear the announcement that they're signing with All Elite Wrestling as well. And then, of course, they said that on the 8th, so next Sunday, I guess, or I'm sorry, next Tuesday. Sorry, I think today's Sunday for some reason. Next Tuesday, they will have a major announcement with All Elite Wrestling. So there you go. Thoughts?
Yeah, you can't have it's All Elite Wrestling, and the Young Bucks are part of the Elite, so you know they're going to be a part of it. I'm just wondering who else is going to be a part of it. We were discussing off air. I heard bits and rumors of people like JR is supposed to be a part of it, and Chris Jericho is supposed to be a part of it. So I'm wondering what kind of impact that's going to have on their relationship with Vince and the WWE.
So that's a very good question, and the easiest way to answer it is that based on reading the article that I read today, I think it was Dave Meltzer was reporting that all they knew they didn't want to do was buy Impact. So they are starting fresh. They are making a new brand. They have plenty of television rights offers out on the table already. I was telling you, I have a feeling they're probably going to sign with WGN because WGN wants to be like TBS back in the day and actually have things like wrestling. And they obviously showed the all in pre-show when they filmed in Chicago. Now, granted, I guess the ownership group is actually the Shaws, who own the Jacksonville Jaguars. So it's very possible that we see something more regional based at the beginning. As to names that are being discussed, the promo that they put up actually had SoCal Uncensored, which is Frankie Kazarian, Christopher Daniels, and Scorpio Sky. So another 3 of the best wrestlers in the world look like they're actually already going to be contracted and obligated to be part of this.
Nobody knows whether or not they're going to continue to work with Ring of Honor. It doesn't look like it, but it does look like they want to keep their agreements in place with New Japan, based on everything that I'm reading. So it's going to be really interesting to see what goes on. Now, this granted is literally like 7 days after the news broke that the WWE tried to offer them all seven-figure contracts, and they turned them down. So
now, what about the Bill and Marty Squirrel? I can't say his name to save my life.
Skrull?
Marty Skrull. Now, I know we discussed it last week or our last podcast that he stayed behind and made Bill and Enterprises. So is his contract not up? Is that a reason he's not going, or he just decided, hey, you guys, good luck. I'm gonna stay here.
Well, it's funny that you say that, because look at who the Elite is. It's always been Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, and then they added in Cody Rhodes to it. So even though they were the Bullet Club, Marty Scurll was never really looked at as one of the Elite. Now Adam Page is looked at as one of the Elite.
And
so
he's going there. He's going to the wrestling, right?
Yeah. So it looks like he's going to AEW. I guess it's going to be what they call it going forward. And it'll be interesting because chances are what it really means is that Marty Scurll signed a contract with Ring of Honor. Probably was told that, they promised him a world title match, stuff like that, whatever the case might be. But overall, I would anticipate that was probably what happened there. And who knows, maybe we'll see more, in the long run with everything going on with that. So
if they're going to start a wrestling promotion, are they going to go for pull from independents, or how's that? Because that's just a small group that they have of wrestlers so far. They've got to, in order to have a company, they're going to have to build. So where are they going to pull these people from?
Well, there's guys like Austin Aries who are independent wrestlers right now. Obviously there's a wide pool to take from. Now granted, they're going to have to scout some of these guys. They're going to have to do, they're going to have people like possibly JR being the talent coordinator and everything else, see what's going on. But the rumor is that BJ Whitmer, who actually was backstage Ring of Honor help with things like travel and planning and stuff like that, looks like he's probably going to be the guy behind the scenes doing a lot of that work for them. And the idea of JR, by the way, I'm going to go ahead and say this right now. JR has denied that he has any involvement with them. I anticipate that when they finally have a show, that's when he will be brought in. I think that he is going to continue to be independent for now. His contract with New Japan was up, so Access TV decided not to renew his contract, or he decided not to renew his contract with them. But I could be completely wrong. He could be brought in as vice president of talent operations, like he was at WWE for so long. He could be, there's so many different things that he could do, because he has done just about everything in the business. Now, granted, I would love to see like him and Matt Stryker as commentators again, but we don't always get what we want. But JR loves being in front of the microphone, so I wouldn't be surprised if we actually see JR picked up for this at some point. But don't expect. I wouldn't expect an early announcement on it, just because I think that it's going to be something where they'll announce him when they announce their first real show.
Okay. How long do you think it'll be? I know that they just announced it, so when do you think they'll actually be up and running?
Well, if you remember, how long did it take them to put together All In? It
Not
took
long.
months. No, it took months. So obviously now we're taking one show and one program where we were able to work out like pay-per-view deals and everything, and we're trying to make it into like a weekly thing, or are we trying to make it into a monthly thing? So it'll be interesting to see what goes on there. I think it'll be at least 6 months before we see them on TV doing a show, unless they're all doing work with other promotions to try to drum up the interest. Like, don't be surprised if, right before you hear the Young Bucks sign with All Elite Wrestling, they make a one-off appearance in the Royal Rumble just to get a big payday.
And that was my next question. Oh, that was one of my questions. My next question was, you mentioned that so I know I'd heard that they were TNA's up for sale, and then they were thinking about AEW was thinking about possibly, so they decided not to buy them.
Yeah. So when you're talking about buying a promotion like that, you got to get them out of debt first. And I think that a company with zero debt, like AEW, is much better than a company with lots of debt, like Impact.
Yeah.
Now, if Impact folds, all those contracts become null and void, or it becomes a WCW situation where you have all those people that are able to take their guaranteed contracts if they have them, or they're able to get a buyout deal so that at least they make some money off of it before they go somewhere else. So it might be something where they have to wait 6 or 8 months anyway just to get everything rolling because they're waiting for contracts to run out and everything else. Because interestingly enough, there's no tamper rules really when it comes to wrestlers discussing their contracts. Like there were back in the day. I mean, TNA got in a lot of trouble for talking to guys like Ric Flair and whatever when they were still under contract at WWE, knowing that the contract was running out, so they could try to get them on that Monday episode of Impact that Hulk Hogan showed up.
Right.
So it'll be interesting because I think that what you're going to see is a lot of young up and coming possible superstars. You're going to see a company like AEW probably stay lower cost with most of their stars, but they're going to have those young superstars like Cody, the Young Bucks. Yeah, I mean the Young Bucks aren't all that young anymore, but Cody's probably still 32, 33.
Yeah.
So I mean he's got 10 years that he can be a monster in the business. It's funny because a lot of people are like, man, how did they turn down 7-figure deals? Well, 7-figure deals when you're not getting the same amount of revenue from your merchandising sucks. Because I mean, Stone Cold made back in the day, he made like $9 million in a year, and most of that was from getting 10% of his T-shirt sales. The WWE got 90% of his T-shirt sales.
Oh, damn.
So just think about how much money Vince made off of Austin back then, and he might not have even had a 10% deal. Steve Austin wants to tell us. I'm sure that he could come out here and say it, but like back then the merchandise was selling like crazy, and they were making next to nothing. And with New Japan actually owning the Bullet Club, all of the actual just Bullet Club shirts, the Young Bucks didn't make anything off of.
Well, that sucks.
Absolutely. So that's why they started coming out with all those other designs. And, obviously they've already got their elite designs that they've got as well. So it'll be really interesting, man. I'm kind of excited to see what goes on with it. I think that the wrestling world is ripe for competition. And when I say competition, I mean solid, real competition.
Do you think this will be solid, real competition for Vince?
You got a billionaire bankrolling it. I mean, it's only the second time that's happened. It was Ted Turner, and now this. So, and when I say he's a billionaire, I mean he owns a football team which pays $85 million a year in salaries. So just imagine what that means that he could do when, especially knowing that I think only 3 teams in the NFL last year weren't profitable.
So Vince is a billionaire. She's billionaire against billionaire.
I mean, at some point it could be. I don't know if like Vince puts everything into WWE. I don't know if the Shahs are gonna dump everything, but they're going to dump enough to get top talent to want to work for them.
We'll see. Should be interesting.
I agree. So Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre apparently had one hell of a steel cage match last night.
Yeah, like I told you off here, I did not get a chance to watch it, so I have no idea. Only what I know from like the little updates you get on your phones from the, from Bleach Report and from the WWE Network. Like I saw that he won the cage match. I saw some of the other things that happened.
Yep, go ahead. Figure out why your dog is yapping.
No, they're out there fighting. I'm in the bedroom. They're out there with Nicole.
So okay. we discussed, and we didn't expect to do an episode this soon after our last episode, but we were discussing the PAT awards for 2018, Tino, and I know that you wrote them down as to who is up for major awards from us, and we may even come up with other categories. So are you ready to start with some of these categories?
Yes. So first off, we have a male superstar of the year.
No, we're not going to do male superstar first.
Oh, well, damn. You tell me what you want me to do first, there, boss.
I I would say that what we should do is like some of the smaller awards first, and so let's say the cruiserweights.
All right. So cruiserweights, and the nominees are. So we thought Buddy Murphy, Cedric Alexander,
okay,
Mustafa Ali,
okay.
And if we want to go outside of the WWE, I wouldn't mind throwing Neville on there.
Wow, you think that Neville's year of what he actually accomplished should put him up for an award?
Well, outside of WWE, he's been kicking ass outside of WWE.
Yeah, but how many matches has he had outside the WWE since he left?
All right, well, we kick him off.
And that's one of the things we really have to focus on. In fact, we're going to be pretty impactful when we discuss like female superstar of the year, because obviously what's most on our mind is what's happened recently. But there's reasons why other people should be up for the award. So Mustafa Ali, Cedric Alexander, and of course, Buddy Murphy, who really has put together a super solid year, and it's not because he's Mr. Alexa Bliss.
No, and not to mention the match that him and Cedric had, not only on the pay-per-view where Buddy actually won the championship, when they had the house show here in Raleigh, the one we went to, that match was amazing.
Well, that was what was it, Charlotte, Fayetteville?
No, that was here in Raleigh.
Winston-Salem.
Did you go with me to that? Yeah, you went with me to that match, and it was in Raleigh.
Okay, I thought the one that yeah, you know what? You're right. That was. Okay, so how about tag team of the year?
My phone's tag team of the year. We have the New Day, the Bar,
okay,
the Usos, the Leader of Worlds, and your boys, Undisputed Era.
Not the Young Bucks?
So we are going outside WWE. Okay, and the Young Bucks.
And the Young Bucks, okay. So there you have it, folks. The Bar, the New Day, the Leader of Worlds, the Usos, and the Young Bucks. Did I miss one? Oh, and the Undisputed Era. That's right.
Oh, yeah. All right.
So then we have the female breakout star of the year.
I'm saying, so on that list, we got Becky Lynch.
Okay.
We've got Alexa Bliss, Charlotte Flair.
Breakout star Alexa Bliss.
No, I'm sorry. No, sorry.
You're talking about female superstar.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Becky Lynch, Ember Moon, Shayna Baszler. Am I missing one?
Kairi Sane. Yes, so Kairi Sane. So so wait, you put Shayna Baszler on the breakout star?
Yeah.
But they're not breakout stars, man.
She is, but she wasn't really. I mean, she didn't really come into her own until this year. She's two-time women's champion this year.
Right. That's why she's up for women's superstar of the year.
She broke out. Okay. I didn't think she was. Okay, personally, to me, she's breaking out. I didn't think she was shit
Becky Lynch
until she started having those matches. She started having those good matches. But I'll take her on.
but you're right, because Becky Lynch actually did have a breakout year this year. She went from being someone who was the very first SmackDown draft pick to being relegated to next to nothing, and then this year came out of nowhere. So okay, male breakout star of the year.
Velveteen Dream.
Okay.
That's the winner, folks. Ricochet. Ricochet, Adam Cole.
Okay. Is there anybody else that needs to be added to that? Lars Sullivan, maybe?
You think he broke out this year?
I mean, he obviously made his way all the way up to the main roster.
Yeah, okay. I'll put him on.
I don't think he's gonna win. I just think we're gonna add another name to the list.
Okay.
All right. Then we had moment of the year. So wrestling moment of the year.
We had Becky Lynch getting knocked the fuck out. Sorry, getting knocked out and getting her nose broken by your girl
Nia Jax.
Nia Jax.
Which basically, by the way, folks, started the biggest face turn or continued the biggest face turn for Becky Lynch and started a monster heel turn for Nia Jax.
Yes.
So all in all, it actually worked out tremendously. Kind of like when Owen Hart actually almost broke Stone Cold Steve Austin's neck.
Or when Stone Cold was in the sharpshooter and didn't tap out with the blood running down his face.
The double turn. Sure. All right.
HBK returns without his hair. Roman Reigns leukemia announcement.
Okay.
And Ambrose shocking turn on Seth Rollins.
Well, and there is one more that needs to be added to that outside the WWE, and that was the All-In pay-per-view.
Oh, here's one too. Titus O'Neil running to the ramp at the Greatest Royal Rumble and tripping and sliding underneath the ring.
The Titus slide. I don't think so, buddy.
That was a surprise and a shock to me. I was like, what the hell?
It was funny.
So if you want to say shocking moments, the Hardy Boys, was this year they came back?
No, it was
at
last
the Royal
year.
Rumble? Last year. Okay.
Last year.
Shocking moments, they finally let him do his broken.
Well, and broken Matt Hardy won the greatest won the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. So, but okay, and so now we're talking female superstar of the year.
We got to go back to Becky's got to be on that list. Becky's got to be on that list. Becky's got to be on that list too.
Yep, Becky, Charlotte,
Rowdy, Ronda, Rousey,
and
Shayna Baszler.
And then there's two more: Alexa Bliss.
You always want Alexa on every list. Why is she female superstar? She hadn't done anything for like 6 months.
Money in the Bank, cashed it in, and won the championship.
She hadn't done shit for 6 months.
Hey, she still had a better year than most of the women, and Asuka, who was the first ever Women's Royal Rumble winner. Gonna argue me on that one?
No. I'm arguing with Alexa because you think she should be on all our fucking lists.
Yeah, well, she should be on all the lists.
Asuka. I can't spell. Ronda, Shayna, Asuka, and Alexa, Charlotte, and Becky.
Right. Okay.
What about Carmella?
Well, she should be on the breakout superstar. Because it was this year that she won the. Was it this year or was it last year she won Money in the Bank?
It was this year? And she cashed it in.
Yeah, I think so.
It was this year and she cashed it in.
Yeah, I think so. And then she reinvented herself with R-Truth.
Mm-hmm. All right.
And then male superstar of the year. And I think that starts with Braun.
Braun. We got Braun.
Yeah.
We got Kenny Omega. We got Seth Rollins, Johnny Gargano, and my choice, and I think your choice too, Mr. Bald-ass Tommaso Ciampa.
Would you say his name right?
Tommaso Ciampa.
There you go.
That's what I said.
It's funny that we actually think that the superstar of the year should actually be, one of the guys from NXT this year, and so much so that we almost put Aleister Black on the list.
Yeah, Aleister, I think he was. I had him as superstar of the year last year, or did I have him as breakout last year?
You had him as breakout.
Yeah. So I think if I want to right now, the breakout that I think is going to be superstar of the year next year is another NXT guy. I think we need to watch out for the Velveteen Dream. He's my breakout star this year. I think he's going to end up being Superstar of the Year of 2019.
I actually think that one of the guys that you have to watch out for is going to be EC3.
You think?
And the reason why is because him and John Cena have been going back and forth on Instagram and Twitter.
Yeah, but John Cena, you really, I mean, he's not in wrestling anymore. So you think that's going to be a Cena passing the torch kind of thing?
John Cena with hair?
Yeah. Shut up.
I think it could be. And in fact, the pictures that I've seen of EC3 make me think that he looks like John Cena. He just looks like he's like a tanned version of John Cena now.
Yeah, because John Cena has the hair now.
With a busted nose.
Oh, damn. Well, okay, I can give you that. Well, I mean, if we're going there, I mean, what about the Ricochet? I think when Ricochet leaves NXT, I think he goes to 205 Live. And I hate to say it, I'd love to see him in the main roster, but I don't see Vince taking him seriously on the main roster.
Well, that's going to be the hard part anyway. Is that Vince doesn't take a lot of guys seriously because he didn't build them, you know. So it'll be interesting. I think that we might see some really cool stuff out of the new call-ups, because it almost looks like Vince finally is taking someone's advice in development. So
I really think Vince knows. I mean, he's getting older. That's why that's why you haven't seen Vince on TV that much anymore, because he thinks he's too old to be on TV. He thinks he looks too old to be on TV. So I think he's reluctantly not wanting to, but he's realizing that he's going to have to step down and Triple H is going to take over. So I think that's why he's giving Triple H a little more leeway.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that. I also, it's funny though, because Vince said he's going to be on TV more often. Obviously, he got belted by AJ Styles this past week, and it just looked really awkward that it was in front of a giant poster that said "The World of Rock." So, anyways, Tino, I've got to tell you, I think I'm about tapped out this week.
Me too, and I'm just happy we were able to do this early in the day and not up till 1 or 2 in the morning doing this.
I agree.
That's what Rob texts me, because you want to record. I'm like, yeah, you want to do it like in half hour? because I knew we were both off today. Eventually, what I would like to do, and it might be a possibility. Haven't spoken with Rob, but we get done with that the NXT taping or an NXT show next week is what? It starts at 5.
Yeah.
And it'll probably be over by 8-ish.
Yeah, probably.
So we maybe get back to your house, maybe do another YouTube show with us in the same room together, Ebony, Ivory, Woo! So that might be a possibility, YouTube kids. So
we may also post some video footage from the NXT show until WWE.
Almost definitely, and we'll probably post some footage just being stupid on the way there, or once we get there, run around the concourse like a couple of kids. So you never know what you're gonna expect from us. So you guys keep your eyes open, and you might get a treat.
Absolutely. So Tino, why don't you take us out of this bad boy?
All right, folks, you can catch him on Twitter at Potcheck. I am at HootieFan91. We're both on the Instagram. The Instagram. You can also check the show out on Twitter, Potsy and Tino. I would get confused. And then on Facebook, we're the Potsy and Tino show on Facebook. As always, we want to say thank you to Adam's House Cat for the wrestling song. And as usual, we want to say it's a little earlier today, so Ric Flair might still be awake, maybe not getting ready to go to bed. But if you listen real close, you can still hear him say, "Woo!" Bye, folks.
Good night, everybody.